Shalom and welcome to this week's edition of the Rabbi's Ramblings. This week's parsha is titled Ki Tavo. It speaks about some of the laws that will be first enacted when the Jewish people come into Israel. One of them being that whoever owns a field or an orchard for that matter, and when they have their first fruit to become ripe, they have to set this aside as a sacrifice and as a presentation of the gratitude to Almighty God for the success of their crop or the success of their growing season. Now, there are different opinions about when this mitzvah first became enacted. One opinion states that it is as soon as they entered the land of Israel, even before they conquered the land and settled it, while some of the other opinions are that it took actually 14 years until they conquered the land and settled it, and only after those 14 years, when they truly had peace and tranquility, were they obligated to begin bringing their first fruit to the tabernacle at the time. So now, while we're not going to get into the specifics of which opinion is correct or incorrect, I think there's a nice lesson to be learned here. That when we look at ourselves in the context of the greater, larger good, or the context of a Jewish community, there are two things that can happen. There can be an individual that says it's all about me. And then you have on the other side, the extreme, a person that says that it's all about the community. And this week, when we look at this lesson, we look at the concept of the first fruit, what it tells us is as follows. That while I may have the city which I'm going to be dwelling in may have been conquered and settled, and therefore I'm happy, and therefore I should bring my first fruit as a sacrifice to the tabernacle, the second opinion says no. As long as there is a single Jew that his city of dwelling has not been conquered and has not been settled yet, then you are not truly happy. So this tells us that actually it's a mix of both perspectives. On the one hand, one can not only focus on oneself, that even though a person in their personal lives may find that things are good and beautiful and they are happy, they can never forget about the surroundings. They have to see what they can do to make their surrounding and make their community better. But at the same time, a person can't forget about themselves. Personal happiness is also important. So we have to remember that each individual does count, does matter, does make a difference in the context of making the community a better place. Shabbat Shalom, and remember you matter, so make a difference.